Hi Level 10 family, it's your physiotherapist Kelly Knapp coming to you from home. Thanks for having me out for the 60 days of summer. I was asked to give a rehab edition and we're going to focus on lower back pain today. So lower back pain is obviously a very broad topic. There's many causes of low back pain. There can be acute injuries, so like a bending, twisting, hyperextension, or compression injury where you have that immediate pain and inflammation. It could be structural, so right from birth or genetic factors, so something like scoliosis. It can be movement-based, so problems with your squats, deadlifts, lunges, improper lifting mechanics. But what I want to talk to you about today is postural factors. I think it's the most relevant right now, just with the world that we're living in, with the pandemic right now. Millions and millions of Canadians have gone from working in the office to working at home, and lots of us have desk jobs. So the first thing that we can kind of touch base on before we get into some exercises would be proper ergonomics. So lots of people, even at the office, have not gotten a proper ergonomic assessment, and that can really play factor in back pain. So if you're able to, I'd really recommend, if you're going to be working at home for a while still, to get an ergonomic assessment, just so that everything can be accounted for, like proper chair with lumbar support, like having proper desk and monitor height. Lots of people don't realize why they sit slouch, but lots of the time it's because they're squinting at the screen. They need to get their eyes checked, a proper prescription. Lots of stretch breaks, walking breaks, those kind of things. Those are all going to help with low back strain. Okay, so what I want to go through with you today is 4 different exercises. 2 are going to be specific stretches for your back to offset those postural stresses when we get sitting for too long and get that back pain coming on, and then 2 stretches in the hips as well that also play factor on back pain. So we're going to get right into them here. The first exercise I'm going to show you is called a repeated extension or a sloppy push-up. This is one of my favorite physio exercises. I've probably given it to a lot of you at one point or time. It's most notably used for correcting disc mechanics, but it also has other applications as well. So this is what it looks like. If you think about sitting in a slouch position, it's basically going to take that spine right through extension, range of motion, and oppose those improper stretches. So we're going to do 10 of these. You're going to have your hands by your side, and you're going to think about peeling up like a banana from top to bottom. And the most important thing is that we're going through full range of motion here, okay? So I'm going to start by pushing up the top and then bringing my spine into full extension. It's okay if the hips come off a little bit at the end of motion, but not off the start. So I'm just going to do 2 more of these, but I definitely would like you at home to do 10. So not only does this help with the discs, but it also stretches out the hip flexors and the core a little bit. It's going to make you feel pretty good. Second one for the back is a static stretch. So like extension movement, rotation movement for the back can really do well in loosening up the muscles and the joints. So what we're going to do here is bring the hip, knee at 90 degrees. I'm going to keep my right shoulder down towards the bed or the floor. And then I'm going to pull this down and across, keeping that shoulder on the bed. We're going to hold this for 15 to 30 seconds, whatever you can tolerate. And then we're going to go towards the other side. I'm doing this up on this nice physio plinth that I have, but you can definitely do all of these exercises on the floor as well. And this is a nice exercise because you get a good stretch in the glute as well as through the lower back. All right, now the two hip stretches. So two muscles that get really short when you're sitting are the hip flexors and the hamstrings. So I'm going to take you through two stretches for those. I see lots of people doing hip flexor stretching, which is great, but lots of people also do it improperly. So I'm just going to show you a minor tweak just to make sure that you're getting the most effective stretch. So we're going to go in the lunge position. A lot of people I see when you're leaning forward here that back arches forward, that chest sticks out. I actually don't want to see that with this. I want you to set your pelvis first. And the way we're going to do that is just getting a little bit of a squeeze in the glutes and the core, which is going to neutralize the lumbar spine. Get that pelvis back into a bit of backwards tilt. And then holding that position, we're going to go forward. So it doesn't look like I'm going as far, but the stretch I'm getting at the front of the left hip is actually stronger. So same thing, we're going to hold this for 15 to 30 seconds, and then we're going to switch. Okay, so before we go forward, I'm going to set that pelvis, tuck those glutes a bit, and lean forward, feeling a nice stretch in the front of the hip. Again, 15 to 30 second hold. I'd encourage you, if you can tolerate 30, to keep that hold. And then I've got one more stretch. My dog Luna's probably going to get riled up with this one because I'm using her leash for it. There are stretching bands that you can use, or you can also just use a belt and wrap it around your foot. And this is a hamstring stretch here. So laying on your back, you're going to keep your back against the bed, the opposite leg down on the bed. I don't want to see it creeping up. And you're going to keep your knee straight of the leg that's moving upwards. And this is a little bit more of an uncomfortable stretch. So this one you might only want to hold for about 15 seconds and then go down. And you can do it again. You should feel the stretch right at the back of the hamstring, maybe in the back of the knee. And as you can see, my hamstrings can use a little bit of work with this one. Then we're going to switch sides. We're going to do it over here, trying hard to keep this leg down on the bed and this knee straight. So if you can do these 4 exercises, take a little break in your day, ideally break in the morning, break at lunch, break in the afternoon, then you're going to be feeling a lot better and that postural strain in your low back is going to go down. You don't have to do them all at once. If you only have a minute or two, just pick 1 or 2 that you like and do the other ones a different time. So I hope this was helpful today. Hopefully don't see too many of you in my office in the near future, but I see you out in the gym and you're healthy and you're feeling good. So everyone have a great summer and thanks for having me.